Hi lovely ladies, it's Ruby. I'm going to get into my craft projects with you in just a moment, but because it's such a beautiful day, I'd like to show you a few things in my garden. That is the pond. If you're coming into my garden, that's one of the first things you would see. And that is a beautiful flower that my daughter bought me 4 years ago at the Chelsea Flower Show, and I think it's done really well in the garden. It clearly loves it there because it's really enjoying the sun today. So I thought it all looked so pretty that I would share it with you. It's such a lovely day in the UK today, so I just thought I would give you a little tour around my plants. There's a lot of flowers in the garden because I was quite a keen gardener, and now my husband just does it for me now. So there's some digitaris there, and that is a huge rose bush that I planted about 15 years ago, and if I don't cut that back, it actually covers my kitchen window, which you can just see in the background there on the right hand side. And these are the pots that my husband does, and he loves to do them, and they sit by the pond. So I hope you enjoyed my little garden tour, and I'll get you now onto what I've been making. Okay, I'm back again, and I would just like to share with you some projects that I've been doing. Some of you will have seen that cushion. It's part of 3 that I did, and 2 have gone off as Happy Mail. So I'm just trying to catch up on some Happy Mail at the moment, and that is one of the cushions that I kept back, but no doubt that'll be going out as well. So I just wanted to show that to you in real life. This is a cushion that I've made, and it's got a very old look to it. It's mixed media, and I cut an awful lot out of fabrics and used the bobbin method around the sides there, and I'm very pleased with it. It's a very pretty cushion, and it's also scented as well. You probably realise, but if you don't, I'm doing voiceovers, as a lot of you know that my iPad is not working, but never mind, we'll get there. This is a smaller version because I actually cut this down. It was massive, and it's a pincushion that I made, and I've done some naturally I've done some pins to put in it, so I'm very pleased with it, and I think it looks really pretty. The beautiful flower in the middle right there is from Janet, so thank you, Janet, for that gorgeous flower. You gifted me that a while back, and I've put it in the middle of the pincushion. Now I'm turning it around just to show you, because what I did, I made quite a few of these cushions. I don't stick to any rules, but there you can see there's a doily underneath with Janet's stunning, hi there Janet, with Janet's beautiful flower, and I've added some tulle lace underneath, so it's just, made it a little bit more intricate really, and I've added some little lace pieces coming out at the side, but that was a lot bigger, and I actually cut it down. I seem to do this with projects. I do change them all the time, and then I just made some stick pins. Now here we have a Sari silk tassel that I made this morning, so I've made that very long beaded trim to go on the tassel, and I had a lot of fun making this. I love making them, and I've got quite a lot of this beautiful Sari silk, and it's just lovely stuff. It really is. I've bought some for a friend of mine in Australia, and I'll be sending that off as soon as I've finished all the Happy Mail that I'm doing. So I think that's a nice tassel, and yeah, it's lovely. It's all the lace that you can see there. The silk, instead of going into landfill, it doesn't. We buy it on the internet, and it's basically, it helps the earth a bit, and it also most definitely helps the people of India as well, which is a very good thing. So you're doing two things at once. Okay, here is a just a flower that I made. I've been making an awful lot of those roses, and I added some lace with that. So I'm just putting that to one side. So have I got time to explain before the next one comes on? Well, it's just the black underlay thing that you can see. The cloth that I've used today to put my work on is a really beautiful tapestry that my daughter bought me. So it's very, very nice indeed. It used to hang on the lounge room wall, and it was just stored upstairs, and I thought, no, I'm bringing that down now because it's huge. So I'm grateful for my daughter for buying me that. And here is a book, a new book that I've been doing, and it's now completed and ready to go into the post. It's a very sort of tactile book, very soft because I've sewn it on my sewing machine, and it's got quite a lot of features in it, really, like I was going to say. There's another flower there from the lovely Janet. So absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Janet. All your gorgeous flowers, they certainly came in handy for me. Here's a nice deep pocket. These will be filled with lovely things for my friend, to who this book is going to. Like I said, I'm doing Happy Mail at the moment, so if there's anybody having any competitions, that's why I'm not joining in, which I normally do. So I'll be glad to get all the Happy Mail out of the way, so I can get joining in your, all your competitions that you're doing at the moment. Because I love doing them, and I'm missing sort of joining in, really. Anyway, this is gorgeous fabrics and just some lovely buttons and some pretty little things I've put on there just to make the book as nice as possible. And it can be recycled as well. That's the good thing about it. There's plenty of fabric there. So the person that I'm sending it to, if she would like to recycle that, that's fine by me. There's loads and loads of fabric that you can use. Or the pockets are deep, so it's a useful book where you could actually store things in. So it could be a storage book even. I love that pink. I dyed that. That's a pink at the top there. Doily, a really old doily that I had that I dyed pink. And on the next page here we have a tag that I made. I certainly make large tags. They all seem to be humongous. So that's quite a big tag I did, and you can just write on the back there, and it clearly has lace around it and a little bit of seam binding at the top. And I think that's quite pretty, and you can see how deep the pockets are because that just fits in there really nicely. On the right hand side there you can see some more of my dyed fabric. That's the purpley, light purple, which certainly goes well with the beautiful doilies on the side there. So it's, like I said before, it's a very soft book. So that's the end of that one. And here is another one. Now, I was gifted an incredibly stunning doily from the lovely Maria, who I have not forgotten about Maria, and I'll be sending her something very beautiful when I find some time to decide exactly what I'm going to do. And that is from a doily that Maria sent me, which I'm very, very grateful for. It's a stunning doily. All I've done is take the little bird off there and keep the rest of it to one side. And I actually used some of my old Irish linen lace, which you've probably seen on other projects if you do watch my videos. So, and I've used the bobbin method big time in this book. There's a beautiful little old button on the side, which is very vintage, again from Maria. That's the bobbin method all the way through it. This is a very quick, simple book. It's just literally 2 pages with some dyed doilies, and then we have on the back, oh no, we're going to show you the book now, aren't we? See, with the voiceovers, I'm not doing it live, so I'm not sure what I'm doing. Right, there we go. That's the little tiny notebook that I've made for the little book, and it's really sweet. This is a very pretty little notebook, and it's got a lot of detail on the front. And I've just had to have a bit of a break because it's very hot now. It's the afternoon, and boy is it really warming up. So yeah, it's got lots of detail in it, and there's lots and lots to journal on. There's a little stick pin there as you open the book that just introduces you into the notebook there, and there's lots and lots of detail. All the pages there are tea-dyed by me. I tea-dye a lot of paper all together in a big pile. I don't individually tea-dye paper. And in between the paper I've just put some hand-dyed fabric, which you can see there in the yellow, and some doilies that I've dyed, and just popped them in the pages there just to give it a little bit of interest. And again, it's recyclable. Because, you know, if you want to use the doilies, my friend wants to use the doilies, she can do. She can just take them out of the little notebook there and just use the notebook. There's some, I can't remember the name of the fabric, but I did actually dye that as well. And a dyed doily on the back. I'm a bit crazy for dyeing things at the moment. So that's the little notebook which goes with the little tiny birdie book, I call it. So it just goes in there neatly, and on the back it's really cute. There's more dyed fabric and a very pretty doily there, which I've sewn on with my sewing machine, as you can clearly see. It has some beautiful flower detail on it there, which is embroidered, not by me, but it's just basically a very pretty little doily that's been folded over. Yeah, it's all been sewn on the sewing machine, so it's nice and soft. And again, everything is recyclable. I really do love that little bird. It's very heavy embroidery, and when you push it like I just did, it's very, very soft. It's just such a gorgeous, gorgeous little bird, and it really makes the book what it is. So I'm very pleased with it. Okay, I'll just flick through this fairly quickly. Considering it's not live, I'll go through it fairly quickly with you. I always do the journaling books separate from the fabric books, and then you can use what's in the fabric books if you want. But what I've done there is I've used the bobbin method again. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, I have videos on it where you turn your bobbin into an embroidery machine. It's very easy to do. There's some dyed doilies that I've done. I think the dyed doilies just give the book a bit more interest. It's just a little journaling pad. So just some old Sanderson fabrics there that I've dyed, and just some bits and pieces that I've put on there. And I love to do even these you can recycle, because I always give you a lot of paper to use. Here's another pocket, and I've gone around that with my sewing machine with the bobbin method again, and just pushing those little tags in there so it's a good deep pocket. I do like deep pockets, and that is just a little message on there. It's really cute. Pretty little tag I made there with stripy paper on cardboard on the back, and a very sweet little fabric flower. Just going to zoom in there, and so you can read that. Just like the butterfly, I will awaken in my own time. I think that's lovely. And that's the end of my video for the day. I hope you've enjoyed watching what I've made, and hopefully before long I'll be entering your competitions, or should I say challenges. So thank you ever so much for watching, and as always, much love and God bless. Bye for now.